Cajun ham. And when you cure it, you're going to use a variety of different spices. Now, when you use Tasso, you use it in pasta, you use it in gumbos, you use it in different types of stews and that type of thing. It is very intense and spicy. And here's what we've got. We're using these little boneless pork chops. Now, lots of times I like to go ahead and cut my own, and I'll buy the large pork loin. And when I do the large pork loin like that, I save so much money. And, you know, right now in our kitchens, everybody's trying to save money. This ham spiced like this will go a long way. The other night I used some for a Cajun pasta, and I only used one full piece, and it really does go a long way. I'm going to start off now. I have a variety of spices and herbs, so we'll start off by beginning to add, and I'm going to add them in a container like this because I'm going to want to spread out the pork in here. These are going to cure in the refrigerator 24 to 30 hours. So after I do this, I pop it in the refrigerator and boom, it will stay in there, and then I'll smoke it. So I'll reach an internal temperature. I want it very, very dry. I'm gonna reach an internal temperature of at least 134 and possibly even more depending on how dry. These are thin, and you can see on my food blog at www.cabeuser.wordpress.com, you can see the exact thickness that you should cut it, and you'll see some pictures too. It will have the complete recipe. We're gonna start off with allspice. Now everybody goes, allspice, is that really allspices? No, it's not, it's a couple spices, but we're gonna start off with a teaspoon of allspice. We're gonna go a little bit more because this recipe is for 1.5 pounds. We've got a tiny bit more than 1.5 pounds. We have a 1.61, so we're gonna add heaping measurements here. So 1 teaspoon of allspice, 1.5 tablespoons of kosher salt. Of course, kosher salt is very popular in doing this. So 1 1/2. We're gonna go a little bit more than 1/2, okay? And like I said, the recipe and how to cure it, how to smoke it is online. The next thing we're gonna do is add a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And there's 3 types of pepper in this spice blend. So remember, we're gonna do heaping because we've got a little bit more than what's called for. So the next thing we're gonna do is to do 2 tablespoons of paprika. And this is, you'll see I'm using bulk spices. And the reason why I do is because I go through spices very, very quickly. I mean, we're talking really quickly. So there's 1, and here's 2. All right, and we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of granulated garlic. I really like the granulated garlic. So we're gonna do a heaping tablespoon of granulated garlic. All right, I didn't get the heap on there, so we're gonna go back in and do a little bit more. There we go. 1 tablespoon of black pepper. I'm gonna add a little bit more because the last batch I made did not have enough spice. Now I like spice. All right, then a teaspoon of cinnamon. And the first time I ever had Tasso, it was down in New Orleans. It was at a restaurant called Copeland's. And Copeland's made this Tasso pasta. And I had no idea what Tasso was. And then found out. And their Tasso just made that pasta pop. And so we're going to add a little bit more cinnamon than it's required in this recipe, because it just adds that flavor. It hits the side of your tongue and you just go, whoa. So it says a teaspoon, but we're gonna go a little bit more than a teaspoon. Okay. Then 2.5 teaspoons 1.5 teaspoons of white pepper. Now I know some of you don't even have white pepper in your house. 1 1/2. When you open this white pepper, it has an amazing scent. It definitely has a different scent than the black pepper, which you'll start sneezing at. I'll start sneezing with this too. But it definitely has a different scent. This is Morton and Bassett, so sometimes it's really hard to find white pepper. But as I said, we have 3 kinds of pepper. We have cayenne, black, and the white. So we put that in there. Now we're going to go with 2.5 teaspoons of light brown sugar. And when I make my homemade bacon, I use this. I use molasses too in my homemade bacon. And you see I have my slicer out because I made some homemade bacon last week and I need to go ahead and get it sliced up. So, excuse me, spices got me. We're going to go ahead and mix this up now. So as you can see, we've got everything in this container and we're going to mix it all up. When I put these pieces of pork in here, I'm not going to want them to touch. I'm going to try to spread them out as much as I can. The container's a little small. I have 8 pieces of the pork. Oh, it smells really good. Okay, you want to get, if it's clumpy, you want to make sure it's all smashed up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get some tongs and open this up. And what I want to do with these pieces of pork is to ensure that they get seasoning on both sides. Now, later on today, I will flip them over. Because the pork with the salt will exude a little bit of liquid. So anyway, see that it's seasoned here. And then we're going to go ahead and get the next piece. Do that. Get that seasoning all over it. There we go. Move this one to the side, shake that down. Move this one here. There we go. Want every bit of that pork covered. Okay. And then we'll get the next piece. And see how thin they are? That just, it doesn't, it takes a while to smoke, but not as long as it does the bacon. The bacon really takes a long time. And you can find the bacon recipe too online on my food blog at www.cabeuser.wordpress.com. Cabe means pepper in Indonesian. And so I use a lot of pepper. All right, here we go. We'll do another piece. I know this is a little bit of a slow process. We're trying to get through this pretty quickly. But you want to make sure it's all covered. You just don't want to neglect any surface area. Okay, there we go. That aroma coming off of this is unbelievable, see? I wish you could smell it, but like Emerald says on his cooking videos, he wishes there was smell-o-vision, yes. So you can have the full experience. Okay, I'll move these over. Now I'm not doing it with my hands, but you can do it with your hands too. I'm just doing it a little bit more clean. A little cleaner would be the word. 3 more. There we go. I got these at the HEB already sliced. Like I said, I would do a nice pork loin. They run about $1.89 to $1.98 a pound normally. And you just slice them according to the recipe on the food blog. And then after you do that, you do the same thing that I'm doing here. You make your spice mix, and then you go ahead and cover these pieces. So as I said, I will go in, and this afternoon I will flip them over. So I'll let them stay in this about probably 6 hours, whatever, and then flip them over. So we want to make sure that they're all covered. Okay, so there we go, got it all. Trying to make sure they're not touching. And whoop, got one that wants to touch the other guy. He wants to be friendly. Okay, get some more space on him. Okay, so this is it. You can see it. And go online onto my food blog, and it'll tell you exactly how to smoke it, how to prepare it, and then use it in pastas, use it in red beans and rice, use it in jambalaya. Oh my gosh, it is great. Dirty rice. So you'll find in the next few days, you'll find a pasta recipe online on the food blog, and it will have this in it. So give it a try, and get out there, experiment, have fun. Anyway, thank you for stopping in on my live, and find my food blog at www.cabeuser.wordpress.com, and like and subscribe. Please, same here. Talk to you later. Bye.